on people.
So when you see someone celebrating Charlie's murder, call them out. And hell, call their employer.
Hold on. The vice president wants me to try to get people fired from their jobs? First off, as a white woman, we've been doing that for years, okay? Stop appropriating our culture. But secondly, is this what we want? The vice president's job isn't to lead an online mob. The vice president's job is to... Okay, he doesn't really have a job, but you get my point.
Desi Lydic isn't just roasting Trump and J.D. Vance, she's turning their political theater into a comedy clinic. One built a brand on chaos, the other on pretending to understand it. Together they've become the political buddy film no one asked for, but everyone can't stop watching. Desi slices through the spectacle with surgical sarcasm, exposing the punchline behind every podium. It's not just a takedown, it's a masterclass in how delusion meets ambition and accidentally writes its own sketch.
President travels overseas, it's important for them to project strength and dignity, although an uninvited insect made that a little harder for President Trump. Damn, girl, you got moves. What is this? Is he voguing? Ronnie, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Jordan couldn't be more wrong. J.D. Vance is a terrifying prospect.
Is it because of his views on women's rights?
Yeah, and also because he has a beard. I'm sorry, but I do not trust a man if I don't know where his...
Desi Lydic starts right where the circus never ends. Trump and J.D. Vance, the dynamic duo of delusion standing shoulder to shoulder like the political version of a buddy comedy nobody asked for. Trump, the self-crowned emperor of chaos, still believes he's directing America's greatest reality show, while J.D. Vance plays the loyal sidekick trying desperately to prove he belongs in the cast.
But he's a very tough negotiator. That's not good.
Remember, call your doctor if your handshake lasts longer than 4 hours. But this is such a stark difference from how every other leader on this trip has interacted with Trump. Malaysia's throwing a concert for him, Korea's giving him crowns, everyone's kissing his ass. Then she comes in like his mom forced him to have a play date with a weird kid.
If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Together they've turned governance into improved theater, no script, no logic, just pure spectacle wrapped in a flag and drenched in ego. Desi looks at them and laughs because only in Trump's America could ambition and absurdity share the same campaign slogan. Trump, of course, takes center stage. The man treats power like a mirror. Everything reflects back to him, even when it's a disaster.
Talker, beards hide things. Blackheads, whiteheads, lack of chin, too much chin. And he's open about all of his horrific policies. So if that beard is hiding something, it must be really bad.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Beards do not hide anything.
Oh, really? Not even a Sharpie dick that never fully...
Jesse says he's like a magician who keeps pulling the same rabbit out of the same hat and still expects applause. Every new scandal, every old trick, every speech is just a rerun of last week's confusion with fresh hand gestures. He doesn't evolve, he rebrands failure as nostalgia. And then there's J.D. Vance nodding like a student trying to keep up in a class where the teacher keeps rewriting the textbook mid-lecture.
How their greeting was. The bigger question was what happened at that meeting. Trump said that China has been eating America's lunch for decades, and this was his chance to seal a major trade deal that finally makes things right.
President Trump back on Air Force One after his meeting with Chinese leader Xi Jinping, where the leaders agreed to a tentative truce in the trade war. That brings tariffs and other measures back to where they were before recent escalations.
He's basically reset the clock to January.
He used to be the critic. Now he's the cheerleader waving pom-poms for a man who can't remember the score. Desi can't decide which is funnier, Trump thinking he's a historic figure or J.D. Vance pretending he's part of history instead of just background noise. J.D.'s transformation is like watching a man speedrun self-parody.
Desi, back with another installment of Republican Beauty Trends. Y'all have been flooding my DMs to talk about JD Vance and his fierce eye makeup, so let's get into it. As a reminder, I am not a makeup expert or even someone who really regularly washes her face. Now, if we look closely, we can see that Vance has lined the inner corner of his eyes with a dark black. That could be to make his baby blues pop, or it could be to reflect the dark black part of his soul that...
Once upon a time, he wrote a book diagnosing the American dream. Now here's the footnote explaining why it's on life support. Desi jokes that he didn't sell out, he just traded his principles for a season pass to the mega theme park. The rides are rigged, the logic is broken, and the only rule is to clap louder when things fall apart. Trump's still performing like it's episode infinity of his own show. Every appearance is a reboot, every controversy a cliffhanger. Desi says he's the only man who can make a scandal sound like a sales pitch. Every unprecedented story is just recycled outrage. Even his victories feel like bloopers that somehow made the final cut. It's political theater without plot or purpose, just the world's most exhausting one-man show. Now with JD as the understudy who never gets to speak.
You have no idea what you're announcing, do you? You're just gonna go into the next room and be like, guys, I promised them something big. Does anyone have anything good? I have 2 to 5 days, and don't say Jell-O shots, Pete. Next time, just come out when you're ready to say the announcement. We don't need a pre-announcement. This is worse than my cousin announcing that they're trying for a third.
Desi imagines their campaign meetings like a live-action cartoon, Trump throwing slogans like confetti while JD scribbles notes hoping to decode the chaos. Trump rants about greatness, JD nods like he's found the meaning of life. It's probably just the caffeine talking. The synergy is unmatched, one thrives on adoration, the other on approval, both allergic to reality. Desi says it's like watching a motivational seminar run by denial and desperation. JD Vance's loyalty has become performance art. Desi calls him the human retweet, no original content, just recycled enthusiasm. Trump's speeches these days sound like nostalgia concerts. She calls it the Make America Rewind tour. Same slogans, same promises, same blame, just louder.
Trump's accidental dance moves are way more impressive than his intentional ones. Very weird. Anyway, I do understand why he was so frantic. That mosquito was also asking Trump about Jeffrey Epstein. Now, to be clear, Trump was not just wasting time playing golf. He was also wasting time.
The man could give a 2-hour speech about his own greatness and still forget what the topic was halfway through. It's performance without progress, an endless loop of grievances disguised as gospel. Desi says he's like a motivational speaker for people who don't want solutions, just louder validation. And right there beside him, JD. Nodding along like he's witnessing divine wisdom instead of political deja vu. Desi calls it the duet of delusion, where Trump doesn't need policies, he has punchlines, and JD doesn't need ideas, he has proximity. It's politics as spectacle, volume replaces vision and applause replaces accountability.
His eyeliner is clearly an all-day wear, from the Senate floor to CNN. So I'm gonna guess he's using either Maybelline Eye Stick in the shade Faux Hillbilly or Revlon Super Smudge in the shade Business Ewok. If I were Vance, I would actually recommend putting the liner under the waterline to create more of a doe-eyed look. But with this technique, he's serving more of an eye support mask.
Jesse says Trump's speeches are like watching someone use a thesaurus on stage, sprinkling big words into small thoughts, hoping no one notices the mismatch. He talks about unity while clinging to division, truth while defending confusion. Desi says JD is the perfect student of Trumpism, fluent in contradiction, fluent in blame, fluent in saying everything while meaning nothing. In Trump's world, leadership means being the loudest in the room. Desi calls it authority through acoustics. Every headline proves he's either the victim or the hero, never the cause. And JD, ever eager, claps like a man auditioning for job security. It's not conviction, it's choreography.
The president capping off his trip by officially opening his latest golf course today in Scotland.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Just a reminder, this man is still the president of the United States. There's a lot going on in the world, and he's at a ribbon-cutting ceremony to promote his golf.
JD seems happy to play along even if it means losing whatever authenticity he once had. Desi calls it the Great Political Vanishing Act. Watch closely as ambition makes integrity disappear. JD used to question Trump's chaos, now he defends it like a lawyer on retainer. In Trump's orbit, adaptation means becoming a mirror that reflects only one face. It's political cosplay, two men pretending to rescue a country from problems they helped create. Desi laughs. If self-awareness were currency, both would be bankrupt.
I just want to make sure, is it really good news?
It's going to be a truly earth-shattering and positive development for this country and for the people of this country.
Earth-shattering, wow. Okay, as long as I don't have to clean it up, I guess I'm in. Just tell me when exactly to tune in and I will clear my schedule.
And that announcement will be made either Thursday or Friday or Monday before we leave.
Desi turns to JD again, marveling at how quickly he became fluent in Trump. The man who once branded himself as a truth teller now treats truth like a hostile witness. Desi says it's not evolution, it's erosion, every talking point erasing another piece of his former self. Trump, meanwhile, still believes he's untouchable, the eternal protagonist of his own myth. Desi draws the contrast. JD Vance, who once analyzed broken systems, now props one up. Trump, who once vowed to drain the swamp, now swims comfortably in it.
This is the perfect time for President Trump to meet the moment with his famous deal-making skills and master negotiating to end this shutdown.
President Donald Trump currently on his way to Asia for a high-stakes tour of the region.
Okay. Government will be here when you get back, maybe. Boys trip!
The funniest part, Desi says, is that they both believe they're rewriting history. Trump thinks he's redeeming himself. JD thinks he's defining the next generation. But history has a cruel sense of humor. It doesn't reward performance, it records it. Desi says in 50 years textbooks won't remember their promises, just their punchlines. Trump will be the cautionary tale of unchecked ego and JD the footnote about ambition without authenticity. Together they'll be remembered not as leaders but as the longest-running sketch in political comedy. Because history doesn't preserve power, it preserves irony.